Today I'm going to tell you the full story of an amazing action-packed martial arts fantasy film, Invisible Iron Head. It's the tale of a mysterious kung fu master whose skull is so strong it can break any weapon, but his deadliest secret is that he can turn invisible to defeat his enemies without being seen. This story is full of secrets, ancient techniques, betrayal, sacrifice, and an unforgettable final battle. So grab a snack, sit back, and stay with me till the end, because you don't want to miss how this legend is born. Our story begins in a remote mountain village, hidden far from the busy modern world. In this village lives a man people call only the Iron Head Master. He's quiet, always seen wearing a simple robe and carrying a bamboo staff. To outsiders, he's just another monk, but villagers whisper that his head is harder than stone. Old stories say he once stopped a charging bull with a single headbutt. Others say he smashed through a prison wall to free innocent people. But few know how he got these powers. Long ago, when the Iron Head Master was just a child named Liang, tragedy struck. His parents were poor farmers who lived near a dangerous cliff. One stormy night, lightning struck a tree near their hut, setting it on fire. In the chaos, young Liang slipped and fell from the cliff's edge. Everyone thought he was dead, but when they found him days later, lying unconscious among rocks, his skull had fused with a strange piece of ancient iron buried deep in the mountain. Doctors couldn't explain it, they thought he would not survive. But an old wandering monk named Master Rui took him in, believing Liang's survival was no accident but a sign that he was destined for something greater. Master Rui raised Liang in the old temple hidden in the forest. There, Liang learned secret martial arts, how to strengthen the body, sharpen the mind, and channel his inner energy, called Kai. Years of training turned his head into a living weapon. He could smash bricks with a gentle nod. He could break a spear just by letting it strike his forehead. But Master Rui warned him, raw power alone brings ruin if the mind is weak. So Liang trained not just his body, but his spirit, meditating under waterfalls, fasting for days in caves, listening to the sound of the wind and the rain. One night, Master Rui revealed a forbidden secret, a scroll that described an ancient technique that allowed the user to bend light around their body, becoming invisible to the naked eye. But the scroll also warned, each time the technique is used, it drains the user's life force. Only one other master had ever succeeded, and he vanished mysteriously. Liang promised to never use it unless he had no other choice. Years passed. Liang grew up to become the guardian of the village. People came to him for help when bandits attacked or crops failed. His closest friend was Jun, a cheerful orphan boy who trained with him. And in the nearby village, there was Mai, a healer's daughter who saw Liang not as a warrior, but as a kind man who secretly dreamed of living a peaceful life. Peace, however, rarely lasts. Far away, a ruthless general named Commander Zhao rose to power. Zhao wanted to control the region's hidden resources, rare stones and ancient artifacts buried in the mountains. He heard rumors of the Iron Head Master and his invincible skull, and he wanted that secret for himself. One day, Zhao's men stormed the village. They set fire to the temple, stole the sacred artifact hidden beneath the shrine, a jade tablet said to connect to the same power that made Liang's skull indestructible. Liang tried to negotiate, he stood in front of Commander Zhao and asked him to spare the villagers. But Zhao mocked him, calling him a mountain monk who hides behind old legends. Liang fought Zhao's soldiers barehanded, defeating dozens, smashing swords with his head, breaking spears like twigs. But he was wounded by an arrow, and Zhao escaped with the artifact. Knowing that Zhao would return with a bigger army, Liang went deep into the forest to find a way to stop him. He meditated for days, battling his own fears. In the dark of night, he unrolled the forbidden scroll again. He realized that if he didn't use the invisibility technique, more innocent people would suffer. So under the light of the full moon, he trained alone, bending shadows around his body until he could disappear completely. Meanwhile, Commander Zhao learned about Liang's secret from a spy inside the village, his own friend Jun, who was promised gold and power. Jun betrayed Liang, telling Zhao how to capture him. Zhao kidnapped Mai, the healer's daughter, using her as bait to lure Liang into a trap. In a ruined warehouse at the edge of the city, Liang faced Zhao's entire army. He appeared visible, battered and tired, but then, in an instant, vanished into thin air. His enemies fired guns into the dark but hit nothing. They swung swords, but struck only air. One by one, the lights went out, all they heard was the echo of skull meeting steel, walls cracking, and terrified screams. But every moment of invisibility drained Liang's strength, his breath grew shallow, his vision blurred. Finally, Liang confronted Commander Zhao face to face. Zhao revealed the truth: the iron in Liang's head was part of the same ancient stone as the jade tablet. Zhao planned to extract the iron from Liang's skull to make himself immortal. A brutal fight began, Iron Head versus greed and guns. Walls collapsed as Liang smashed through Zhao's traps. In a final act of sacrifice, Liang used all his remaining life force to destroy the jade tablet, shattering its power forever. With one last headbutt, he ended Zhao's reign. When dawn broke, the villagers found Liang kneeling beside the ruins, barely conscious but alive. Mai held him as he whispered his master's final lesson: true strength is not in what you can break, but what you can protect. Though he lost his ability to turn invisible, he saved his people, and his legend spread far and wide. They say that even today, on quiet nights, you can hear the echo of the invisible Iron Head, protecting the mountains he once called home. So, what do you think of this story? Would you want the unstoppable power of an iron skull and the art of invisibility, if you had to pay with your own life force every time? Tell me in the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this explanation, please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing movie stories just like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.